Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Gargi Roy Goswami today with you all again in another episode of Eclectica. So, as you know, that in this platform we try to bring in very interesting personalities. So today I have a very fascinating person with me, and her life story, or rather, I should say that she herself stands out as an inspiration to many other people. So today, I have Dr. Pampa Dey. She is presently an assistant professor in Department of Civil and Water Engineering, Laval University, Canada. So before calling in Dr. Pampa Dey, let me just tell a little bit about her, because I know that if I start really to tell about her, it will take hours together to just speak about her achievements. As far as I know her, she actually belongs from a very humble family, but I'm not going to tell you anything because we will be listening from her. So, actually, Pampa, she completed her bachelor's in degree in civil engineering from Jadavpur University, West Bengal, India, where after she followed her master's in structural engineering from the very renowned Institute of India, that is Indian Institute of Technology, Kanpur. She later completed her doctoral studies in 2017 from University of Waterloo, Canada, and her focus was specifically on dynamic behavior of aluminium bridges under human-induced excitations. Well, in 2018, she joined the Department of Civil and Water Engineering at Laval University, the same place where presently she is an assistant professor. And it doesn't end here. Currently, Pampa holds the chair in educational leadership on sustainable design of aluminium structures. Wonderful. So, through her research program, Dr. Day aims at contributing towards better design and maintenance of sustainable lightweight structures. So I think with that, I will invite Dr. Pampa to our show, that is Eclectica, the different news. Hello, Dr. Pampa, how are you? And thank you for joining me at Eclectica and giving your time for this show.
Hello, Gargi. Thank you so much for inviting and thank you for your lovely introduction.
I think that was too small an introduction for you because I know you have lots of achievements. And I would like to tell my viewers that, when I asked Dr. Pampa that, can you please send me a little brief about yourself? So she just sent me only few lines, but I think that would be, if I really extrapolate that, it will be pages together. So yes, Pampa, as we discussed earlier, that this is a show where I try to bring inspirational people like you, because as much as I know that you have a very exciting life journey, and I think today we will talk on that, and we are not going to talk on any specific subject that way. So, so tell me, how are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you. But as you know, the situation everywhere is different. We are into pandemic. So working from home, trying to still finish our work, we have to be just positive, and that's what I'm doing. So all good.
That's nice to know. Okay, Pampa. I thought initially, I was thinking that I will tell my viewers a little bit more about you. Right. How you came up from a very humble background, family background, and today you achieved what you are doing. So, but then I thought that you are the best person to tell that. So I would really appreciate if you tell us and tell inspire our viewers, and if you just share your life journey with all of us.
Thank you, Gargi, first of all, to give me that much that I'm inspiring others, but that I'm not sure. But yes, my journey has been a roller coaster journey, I would say. But for me, it was a normal journey. To others, what I get to know from others, that yeah, it is a very different journey. I'm actually from Raniban, a small town in West Bengal, and it has been or around 250 kilometers from Kolkata. So it is not, as you know, that right now everything, yeah, right now my town is very improved and everything is getting into, thanks to digital media, thanks to all information we get. But when I did my education, I finished my higher secondary in 2004. So that's not the time that, that's, I think that's the time when just the small mobiles were coming, those Nokia mobiles, right? So we're not so familiar with internet or anything or the information. So you can understand that I'm coming from that age. And that time education was not that much popular in small towns. We don't give importance to the education of girls, or we don't aim high. So but thankfully I had parents, and I had other members and other friends and families who were inspiring me, because to go and do something. So I think as a childhood, I don't know what my parents described me, I don't know how I was, that I was always very strong, strong minded. And at the age of 10, I started helping my father. My father had a sweet shop in my town, and my parents both are fourth standard, okay, in education, but they are very very good in terms of open minded and everything. And it's like we are only three sisters, we never had a boy. So I I was growing up knowing that, okay, I had to get married at some point when I'm 15 or 16, or after I finish my 12th standard. My elder sister, who was 1.5 year elder than me, she got married when we were studying in 12th standard. So I was into the queue, but it was never that forceful. But at my in my mind, or whatever, my parents told that, okay, uh, if I if I do good in education and everything, obviously I'm allowed to do whatever I want to do. But again, if I don't do, I may have to get married. Either I have to be independent, or I have to be go to the traditional way. But my that time my parents also did not know much about education. In my town it was not very common. I would give you an example. The school where I studied in Bengali medium, and where before me the highest marks in science was around, I think, 70%. No one got even 80%. No one even got uh, a rank in joint. So I never had a special training for joint entrance or special books. I only had one textbook for all science things. But what kept me inspiring is that my love for science. I love doing math, I love doing physics, and my self study, I always used to do self study. And I never cared about the space, I never cared about a good place to study. I never complain about it, because I studied sitting on my father's shop when I used to be the cashier. I used to take money, and my father used to work onto the shop, and I used to help him. And that's what I'm doing from 10th standard. Either go to school, come back, and little bit time you have, just go and help your father do into the cashier. And that's when I used to study. And I started listening a lot of comments. Oh, how are you studying? You cannot even do anything by studying. Why are you showing off? And go and just be at home and help your mother learn some cooking or something. So that's the time, I think, I don't know if it worked out for good for me. I was in mentally, I was very determined that I have to do something. And I was never like, I was happily doing whatever I was doing. I was liking my science, I was liking my mathematics, I was liking doing anything. And then at one point, I think we did not know that much about joint entrance, and one teacher came and told, oh, why don't you fill up the form? Because I think my marks were very good in 11th standard and science, and I was very good in the class. And then I just fill up the form. And then I just gave the exam. There was no, frankly, there was no extra preparation. Whatever I prepared is for the higher secondary board, because I wanted to that time do go for, and my aim was not to go to Kolkata. It's like 60 kilometers away. There is a town, Bakur, and there is a college, and I want to do a BSc, and I want to be a teacher, school teacher. That was my dream growing up. I want to be a school teacher. But then suddenly rank came, and then everything, flip flop. That was a turning point, and I got around 90% in my high secondary, and that was like the record that time. And
Amazing.
yes,
Amazing.
and everything got like, no, that's the turning point. And why I'm giving that much background to know others, that is the turning point. And it was it is like a lot of time I have seen lot of youngster nowadays complain about so many things, that we do not have enough books, we do not have tuitions, we do not have coaching. But frankly, I did not go through any of it. It is all my self study. And yeah, I had a school teachers. I used to disturb them a lot. I used to go to them. I used to ask questions. I am always the person who has so many questions in the class.
Wish-
Even outside the class, I will go and give them. Oh, I did those solutions. Can you check for me? So I was doing whatever was available with me. It was not that. So what I learned from that journey, that I feel like that what I'm good at, that whatever opportunity come to me, I know how to use them, and how to use them for my knowledge. And I'm always like, I want more knowledge, I want more, I want more. So then Jadavpur happened, and yes, that was also a very funny story. But as I told, that if I keep talking, it will take 2 hours. So I'm going to go really briefly from now. Jadavpur happened, and then when I was going to, towards the third and fourth year, again, I'm telling you, my life is not a pre-planned one. I never planned I want to be a professor. But then I went to engineering, and in the first 2 years, like others, I also thought that I'll go to a company. But then as I went towards it, I was like, no, I want to know more, I want to do then a master's, I want more depth of knowledge. Again, my parents were very, very supporting. You have to understand that what kind of background my parents are. And now the situation were changing, because I already proved myself. I've already came out. My parents were also as of learning with me to be more open. My parents were open given the situation compared to the that society. They gave me all freedom, and they were so supportive. They were so proud of me. And then I told my father, okay, father and mother, I want to do a master's. But then I told them, probably I will do a job first, and then after 1 year I will go for a master. My father said that, I remember that day, and I was talking in phone, that no, I don't know, if you really want to do masters, do continuously. You do not have to give a break or something. You don't know what will happen. But if you want to do, why you want to give? No, I want to just, little bit have savings and everything. We were not that much financially stable back then. So but then, it worked out. I went to IIT Kanpur immediately after my graduation from Jadavpur. And then that time also my aim was again to probably, okay, get a job or get to some, after masters I see a lot of people go and teach in universities. But then as I go there, I got a more bigger exposure, where, oh, a lot of students are going to foreign country for PhD. Why don't I
Right.
also go? So, as step by step, as I see surrounding, I learn from my surroundings. I'm always a
Fantastic.
learner. I always learn from my
Fantastic.
surroundings. I never had a problem of, okay, why I'm following. I don't follow anyone blindly, but there is nothing wrong from learning from surrounding. We have so many.
Correct.
Every person has a story, and I always say, like, you have a story, everyone has a story, and we can learn something. So as I go progress, I learn from the environment. Okay, everyone is giving GRE TOEFL. Okay, let me do that, let me plan for it. But again, you need more money to do that. For coming to a foreign country is not easy. So I just took a 1 year break. I was teaching in Delhi to save some money to come for PhD. So that's what I did after my masters. And once I came here, I'm telling you, it was a struggle. I was always in Bengali medium. I can do technical English, but not speaking. How I'm talking today. If you talk to me in 2012 when I came to Canada,
Mhm.
no way. So I was having problem with conversation. I was not talking in class. I cannot understand when someone is talking
Their
to me,
accent.
because they have
Yeah,
a
the
accent,
different
they have
accent.
everything. But then what I started doing is watching some TV shows, reading more English news. And when I used to go by bus from my home to the university, I used to listen to people, how they are talking. Again,
Oh,
I'm not copying their accents. I have seen a lot of people try to copy, but I don't want to be perfect. I just want to communicate with others. Till now, I make mistakes. I make mistake, thousand mistakes in my English, but then I can still communicate with others. And that's how I learned. I used to listen to them, what they're talking, how they're talking, so that I'm habituated with their accents to listen. Listening is first. After I listen, I understand, and then only I talk, right? And then with time, I improved. And when I was in my third or fourth year, oh my God, I can actually talk really fluently. So
so sweet.
yes, so it was every step there was a challenge. But then again, I'm telling you, only thing that I'm a good learner. I always feel like that, and I have that passion for learning, whether it is learning cooking, or learning a language, or learning my own subject. And I what I have seen, that I never compare myself, my journey, with anyone. It's my journey. I may have to take a 2 years break to save some money and go for the next step. Someone may not have to do it. Someone may have to do something else. So we all have a different clock of doing something, and that's how I think I'm always, and I go with the flow, and I came with the flow. And then when I finished my PhD, I finished in August, and then October or November, there was this ad for this job, and immediately I applied. I know that there is again a challenge. I should specify here that in Laval University, this province in Canada is a French speaking province. It's a bilingual, and French is the main language. And
Okay.
forget about it. I don't know anything about French. Okay. First, I did not realize that they will take me, because French is one of
Hmm.
the criteria. Because in undergraduates, you have to teach in French. Okay. And
Oh,
graduates, you can still teach in English, but and also main communication is in French. This is one of the oldest French speaking university. But then, as I told you, I never leave an opportunity. For me, I feel like that. I believe in God, and I feel like that sometimes God gives me these opportunities. And this was my first job application, and I know how competitive it is to get an academic position, and I applied. I came for the interview, and I think it was a right fit between both of us. It was a whole day interview, and they said, okay, they're going to give me 3 years to learn French, and
all right.
that's what they have given. I'm taking formal classes. Yes, it is lot of work. I have to work in weekends. I have to take, like, 6 hours of French classes in a session, in a week, and another 18 hours of lessons. But I could see the improvement in me. In the first day of class, I remember I was so sad that I'm not able to understand anything. But then right now, after 2 years after, I can speak broken French. I can understand a little bit. So there is an improvement. And again, there also a lot of people may get frustrated. I have seen a lot of people who come to know a language. Language is a language. It is not something technical. And I made myself know that it is a slow process. I cannot be too hard on myself that in 1 week I will be fluent in talking in French. How long it took for me to talk in English? My
Right.
mother tongue is Bengali, and I cannot just and I'm okay if I don't have the accents like this, because always whenever I talk there will be a Bengali accent, and that's what is originality. I want to just, language is just for communication, and that's what I follow. I don't get too hard on myself in pronunciation, everything. I just go it into the good grammar and good listening skill and little bit of sentence, construct your sentence, and that's how I'm doing good. I think so.
Yeah,
that's
you are
how
doing fantastic. It's not good, but it's amazing. And the way you told your story, I must say that there are many takeaways from whatever you actually told in a very simple way. But I think those are the basic lessons of life. And as you said, even I believe that there is no harm and there is no end to learning. You can always learn from your environment and from anyone, whoever it is, or whatever. I mean, it doesn't depend on age. It doesn't depend on anything. I mean, as you said, and I agree to it very much.
when I came here, I'm just going to give you a small story. When I came here and I was learning this language, and then I met someone who is 60 plus and who is learning the language, and I'm like, okay, if that person can learn, why cannot I? So I get inspired in my surroundings a lot. I keep seeing people, and I feel like that every people is a book. And that's what I observe, and I see them, and I get inspired each and every day to each from each and every people. I know that a lot of people say that I'm inspiration, but I get inspiration from everyone. Everyone has something to teach you, and
And that's your
I'm a
power.
lifelong
That's
student.
your power, actually, I must say. That's your power. And okay, so I think I would like to ask you one thing. So what I as you say that you have never planned, but then you have one thing you did is you have never taken the luxury, or to miss an opportunity. You have always grabbed a single or half or whatever opportunity has come. You have never left it unturned.
No.
So according to you, what you think is the most important thing that one should focus to basically what we mean by to reaching a goal? So what would you like to add on to this question?
And this is a very good question, and I think it is very important for us to know. I know that we all have goals, okay? And it is good to have goals, but then we have to understand that we have to be little bit, uh, flexible in our goals. Like we have to make a bigger goals, smaller goals, and all those short term and long term goals. And we have to understand that what I did is that yes, I wanted to be a teacher, then I wanted to be a professor, but the profession is same. um, but what I did, that I was open, I was not geographically constrained, and I was not that I want the perfect university with perfect rank, with the perfect language, with the perfect everything. you know I am open, because you have to understand that in your goal, what is the main priority in your goal. The goal cannot be that I want to be this, but then again we have in our mind, although we don't express, we have it very surrounded by on that goal, we have other dreams also. It is like a bigger picture. On the process of achieving goal, you have to understand that first of all, the first thing in your mind, you have to do that never ever compare yourself with others. you know Nowadays social media is there, and it's very easy. What people do, they compare others, they see others profile, and they get so depressed. It really stress you out, it panic you out, it give you mental depression and so many mental health problem, and this is a big issue. Second of all, take baby steps. Baby steps is very very much important. You see yourself, you compare yourself with your last day. When on my first class of French or in my English, if I compare with others and how well they are talking, but I have to understand we all has a different background, we all are has a different learning power. If someone learn one problem statement in one day, someone may take 10 days, but you are learning. That's the good thing, so take into the positive side. Don't compare that why my colleague is learning something or got a certificate or did something in 10 days, and why it is taking a month for me or 2 months. But it is the effort. So give every day little effort, and see if you're enjoying that or not. That's very much important. If you enjoy, you will be happy with, you will be content. Content yourself whatever you are achieving, small goals. Small goals are very important. I want to be a professor, but then you are applying, and I have seen lot of researchers who finish their PhD doing postdoc for 3 4 years did not get a call. It might not be the reason that you did not get because you don't deserve it or you do not have a good CV. Academic job is first of all competitive, second of all the right research fit. It's a both way things, and it's not that. So don't take any rejection personally. If you're getting a rejection, think about it. If you get some review or feedback, take those criticism in a constructive way. Think about it. If there is a way you can improve yourself, okay, last time I applied there, what was lacking? Like, self analyze yourself. Okay, can I improve this part? And you don't have to again improve yourself and stress out. you know Again, the point is, don't be so hard on yourself. you know so I know there is so many things I could say here, but if I have to summarize, take baby steps. Don't be so hard on yourself. Measure yourself whether from last week, this week, you have a little bit improvement or not. Little bit improvement is also an improvement, and that we have to remember. And we don't remember that. Maximum time we just feel like, oh, I did not do anything. You get panic attack. You did something, and it's very normal. And it's okay to be panicked. It's okay to be stressed out. And sometimes if I say that, oh, I want to be 100 times positive, no one can be 100 times positive. We are emotional people, and we may have a sadness,
Absolutely.
but accept that sadness also. But it is important how quickly you rebounds back in your mind. Okay, you be sad for 5 minutes one day, don't be sad for a month. Again,
Right.
next day, reprogram your mind and just start doing it. And I think that's what I do. And I'm telling you, I went through, as I told, that my journey is a roller coaster journey. I went through every bit of emotions. There have been so many uncertainties, and so many places I felt that that okay, things are not going to work out, or I'm not liking something. But then I feel like that my main strong thing is that look into things in positive way. And I just see like that, okay, what can be done next time? Accept it. Anything happen, whatever bad or rejection or anything happen in your personal professional life, anything, accept it. Okay, that's what is life is. Life is never a fairy tale. Okay, and then move on. Okay, what can I do?
Right. So
Learning
I
from
think,
that experience.
yeah, I think you are correct, Pampa, and you rightly say that the simple thing that we generally tend not to do or struggle is accepting whatever we are achieving or what we have. We always try to get things or think on those that we presently don't have. Or it's good, as you say, that to aspire, but then at the same time we also have to understand, we also have to learn to accept things. So that was wonderful actually that you told. And Pompa, I think, as you said rightly, that you had definitely in this journey, you just told us in 5-10 minutes, but I'm sure that there are many challenges that you faced, as you rightly said. Also, you shared with us a little bit. So, what is that one thing, if I put it that way, what's that one thing which gave you that impetus, or kept you moving against all odds that you faced? So what is that one thing?
I think looking into the positive side, looking into the positive side. And I have heard from a lot of my friends and colleagues that how do you do it? Even there is a, I get a bad email or a bad review, and I'm like, okay, it's good, it's good, it's for good for me. Let me just work on it. I always look into the positive side, no matter what, because, and I give them the reply that probably I'm selfish. I cannot make myself sad for a long time. So I want to be always happy. I'm always content. And it's
Right,
like
that is
I'm always
important.
positive and always look into the positive side. In a rejection also there is a positive side.
Yes,
I
because as
always
you,
feel like,
yeah, as you mentioned, that self analysis, instead of comparing, because the environment and the scenario for me and for the other person whom I am trying to compare myself, it's not just that what we see on social media, or what is that by seeing that person we cannot understand. There is a huge background story behind it which we are not able to perceive. So I mean, and you fantastically told. So Pampa, with whatever baby steps, you have achieved a lot, I think. And uh, how would you like to see yourself 10 years from now?
this is a good question, because I never thought about 10 years, but as you told me, again, I just feel like that my goal is very simple, because I'm in the academic zone. I just wanted to create my own niche and own area, and where I can mentor other graduate students, and I can teach students. So it's all about sounded my academic area, that to contribute to the next generation of engineers, or next generation of professionals, and that's what is my main goal right now, because I'm a very young faculty, and this is the main time of struggling to to it will take time. It will take at least 5 to 10 years to establish myself in the field and to be a leader in
Right,
the field, in my field. And another thing which I want to do as time goes is that to contribute more into the community, into the community. I
correct,
want to say, uh, inspire others, or help others, mainly to the women, STEM women. And I want to just go and help them, and if they want any kind of help, or any kind of, whether it can be inspiration, it can be talking, it can be some ideas, because I feel like that. But I oftentimes I miss that when I was growing up, that to talk to someone and go and ask someone, or knowing from a woman. I know I'm not doing anything gender biased here, but then sometimes being woman, I feel like that I want to know from that woman what they faced, because uh, men and women both struggles, okay, in their field. Everyone struggle in their career. But when I'm a woman, I have this inherent thing that I want to know from a woman how they are doing. Or like, let's say I'm a young faculty, how they're managing their personal and professional life, how they're managing that step of that part when they are managing their babies and everything. So I'm just talking like that, as you go progress, and I feel like that you wanted to talk to a person who already gone through it. So I feel like that I wanted to give into the community in that way, that to sharing my story, and also help students, mainly women student, to come into STEM, because that's what, being a woman, I have suffered that, that always having into my years, that you cannot do it, you should not study this, you should not study that, you should not study science, you should have taken arts, why did you take science, no one do well in science, so all these things
yeah.
like that. But I think that
So
right now, a lot of those kind of platform are there, where
Yes.
You are getting
True.
a lot of information, so I think that's going good. But at some point we have to think about, something in a very methodological way to
Right.
attract more and go to the more into the rural places. Not
Absolutely.
in the rural places, not everyone has the luxury to have a mobile or a social media.
Correct.
So
Correct.
it's
I
okay.
think that's a fantastic thing. That's a fantastic idea or your insight that you're giving to us today. And as you're correct, you're very correct. We have to get resources to those places or people who really need them. Where things are already available. We just making one more edition doesn't actually make so much of value. Instead of that, I think, as you said, that if we can really change someone's life just by talking to them or helping them out or giving them maybe just little information which we have and at that point they don't have, that's I think that is a very great thing. Well, Pompa, now as we know that presently we are in a global pandemic and job recessions and many people are losing job, and particularly I am basically I'm more attached to students, and I want to ask you that what would be in this. It's a serious problem, really, particularly people who are at the verge of starting their career, maybe the final year goers in whatever profession I'm telling. It's not specific to your profession or my profession, but what would be your message to our young viewers in these pandemic regarding their their career or whatever you want to tell them. I think your addition will really help them out and make bring some changes, positive changes in their thought process.
Yes, exactly. This is a very tricky situation that for mainly for the young students who are just finishing. But first of all, again, I'm talking about, because I talk about positivity a lot, because you can understand the last economic recession. So any of this situation, first of all, think in your mind that this is a temporary situation, okay, and it is not going to sustain for years and years. I know you, all of you has this sudden a challenge or sudden barrier to go progress. How you planned your life, it might be different. So again, be little flexible. Don't be so hard to stick, because given this situation, always analyze the situation. Given the situation, what best you can do. For example, if someone is not getting a job, go to some online resources, do some certification, gain your entrepreneurial skills. That's also helpful. A lot of company now want those kind of skills. So think about how you can utilize this pandemic to build your skill set. Again, a BA learner is okay, you got your degree, but degree is not everything. Whatever you learn on the 4 years, when you go to a company, you do something, you learn from there. So make yourself really, really go into a lot of job ad and see what are the skill sets they wanted, and make yourself equipped with those cool skill sets when everything become normal, so that you are into the, you are well prepared. So use this time of lockdown, being at home, to your benefit, to learn something which will be useful for your career. It's okay that your plan has little bit interrupted, but it's not the end. That things is going to be normal, and there will be lot of job ads. And then when you go and you prepare this much, you will be exactly in the top front, and people, you will appreciate that, okay, you have utilized on your lockdown. In your CV it will be written that during this time you did an training or some certification. So utilize this time. I feel like that's the main thing. Utilize this time to improve your skill sets, whether it is a profession, whether it's a speaking, whether it is something certification, whether it's some your entrepreneur skill. You may just after the pandemic, you may realize that, oh, you don't want to work in industry, you want to open your own company because you got that skill sets. So explore many things. I would say that be open, be flexible, and be
I
positive.
think I think that's fantastic, and that's really amazing that you told these things. And it will be, I think, if people are watching, and there will be people who are not watching live, they may be watching us later. So these insights of yours will really inspire everyone, particularly the young people who are definitely little worried because they are kind of in a very tricky situation, that, as you said. So, well, Pampa, just coming to the concluding part of our conversation today, I will just ask you that what would be your one giveaway message for all our viewers?
I would say that just be fearless to do whatever you want to do. Be patient and be positive. These are the three things will take you everywhere. And again, accept. That's, I think, comes under your positivity. So be fearless, whatever you're doing. Don't think that whether you can do or not do. It takes you long way in making decisions. Be patient about the outcomes. Not always overnight success. There is nowhere. You learn in social media there is a success, but they put lot of hard work. So be patient about your outcomes, whatever you want in your life. And third is, be positive. Accept, take into the positive side, move on, let it go. If there is something negative, just let it go.
Fantastic, Pompa. It was amazing to have you today here, and it was amazing to hear from you. I had many takeaways from your insights, and definitely I will also pass on these insights to my juniors and my fellow mates. And thank you, Pompa, once again for joining Eclectica. And I hope we will be again chatting like this in some other day and on some other very great topic where I will learn more from you. And thank you for joining me today.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Gargi,
Pampa.
for inviting me. First of all, it was a pleasure for me to talk like this. I know I keep talking, I talk a lot. That's different thing. But thank you so much for giving me this platform to to talk to your viewers. And I hope that I contribute at least little bit in their mind that anything is possible.
Yes,
So
you have contributed a lot, and I think
thank you so
the
much.
positive.
And you're
I
doing an
think.
excellent job. It's very good work. And I
Thank you,
really like,
thank you so much.
appreciate that you are doing that. It's just a great job, really.
Thank you, Pampa.
Thank
So
you.
I'll take your leave today. Thank you so much for joining me.
Okay, bye bye everyone, whoever is seeing. Okay, bye.
Oh, I think it was wonderful session from Pompa, and I think all of us got some very good insights. As Pompa said, that to how we can focus on our life is to be patient, be positive, and accept. So I think that was a fantastic learning. And with this, I will end this episode of Eclectica, and I hope I will get you back again another very great personality, very versatile people in this platform on from a different background and to discuss something different. With that, I'll take your leave. Bye bye. Good night. Take care.